What's up, everybody? It's Richard Boda with Six Magazine. We got Oakland Raider defensive end Jay Richardson with us. How you doing today, Jay?
Good. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. You guys got off
Good.
to a slow start. Y'all were the butt of everybody's jokes, but y'all won two out of y'all last three, and against playoff contenders at that. What's up with the
Yeah.
turnaround, man?
It's been a long year for us, and like you said, we did start off pretty bad, and it's been a real up and down year. But I don't know. I think the most important part of our turnaround is just that guys are starting to believe in what we have in our locker room and in our coaching staff and what we can do as a team. And I think once you get guys all on the same page and kind of really buying in and believing that we are competitive with any team that we play against, I think you see a different product on the field.
Cool, cool. With the acquisition of Greg Ellison free agency and Richard Seymour on the trade, you're not
Yeah.
starting anymore because you're starting the first 2 years. Explain the
hmm
frustration of having to come off the bench now, and also explain the flip side of that of learning from two great experienced veterans.
Well, I mean, yeah, and like you just said, it is a bit of a change for me having to come off the bench and having to kind of wait to go in the game. But I think with us bringing Greg here, first of all, because he's the one who came first, and I've been with him the longest all the way through camp and
Mm-hmm.
some of the summer. It's been huge, man, as far as just his leadership and him being kind of like the model NFL football player for what you're supposed to be as a pro. More so off the field than on the field. I mean, obviously on the field he puts up good numbers and he can play, and he's still got it. Contrary to popular belief, the
Mm-hmm.
guy can get it done. But I mean, it's off the field too. I think it's just real important. And then you got Richard. We brought Richard in right before the first game. Matter of fact, he flew in night before the game and went out and balled the next day
Pull
and
it
did his
up.
thing. And he's a heck of a player too, man. I mean, the dude's huge, man. He's just like a big mountain of a guy. He holds it down. But uh, when it comes to him, he's not as vocal as Greg, but when he does speak, people listen. Because he's got those two rings on his finger,
Yeah.
or three. I'm sorry. So you got to respect that. And he knows what he's doing. And like just like Greg, real good guy, family guy, professional.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me to just sit and be able to watch these guys go to work every day and to kind of pick up, little tips and tricks from them, it's been really invaluable for me.
Um, I'm my bad. In the Cincy game, you had one of your best games of the year. You had 6 tackles, one for a loss, and your plays increased in the recent weeks. What are some of your goals for the rest of the season?
Well, me personally, some of
You
my
know,
goals, obviously.
you know Tommy Harris?
No, I don't know him personally.
Man, he just gave me a call. I got to interview him next. My bad. I was gonna let y'all kind of talk through the phone, but he'll wait. He can wait. He'll be all right. My bad. The Cincy game. Talk to me about that. You had your best
Yeah.
game, and just what are you looking forward to for the end of the season?
Well, I mean, and, early on in the season, I wasn't playing as much, and then as the season's gone along, I've got more and more playing time each week. It's just getting more involved with the game plan, and really for me personally, my goals. I know these last 4 games, I'm gonna see if I can get as many sacks as I can because I'm a defensive end, and that's what we're measured by, how many sacks we get. And as far as the team goes, I just want us to finish strong, man. I want us to kind of set ourselves up for next year. And you don't know if you're out of it or not. I mean, it looks like we are, but regardless, you got a job to do on Sunday, so you want to go out there and do the best job you can. Also, to set yourself up for next year, and let the coaching staff know, that you're one of the guys that's with it, and you want to get better every week. So that's my goal.
Man, I'm a huge Raiders fan, dog. I have been since Bo Jackson, really since like Tecmo Bowl. But
Yeah.
describe what it's like. But y'all really ain't been to the playoffs in a while. But I still
Yeah.
stay true to my Raiders, man. But tell me what it's like, man, because you went to Ohio State and y'all didn't lose a whole lot. So tell me how you're getting adjusted, or if you can get adjusted to losing, like going from winning consistently to losing consistently. Talk about that adjustment.
No, I know what you mean, man. It's like, my last 2 years of college, I lost, what, 2, 3 games total, and out of, I don't know what, 20 games, 24 games. So, needless to say, losing has never been an option.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the league rookie year, and it's like we dropped the first 4 in a row, and I'm like, man, like Like, this is not something I'm used to, and it's not
Yeah.
something that you want to get used to. But at the same time, you realize this is the NFL. Like, it's hard to go undefeated. That's why you got to give a lot of respect to the Saints and the Colts right now, because it's hard to do, man. The talent level in this league, everyone's got it. It's equal across the whole league, so it's not like, you can say who should dominate and who shouldn't. Um, but at the same time, you want to win. You want to do good every week, and you want to go into every game, you know, thinking that you're going to win. And that's how I approach every single game, knowing that we're going to win, regardless of what happens. So it's been a huge transition, but it's not something I want to get used to.
Yeah, definitely. Nobody wants to get used to losing. How do you and your teammates focus, man? Especially in the past 2 seasons with everything with the mid-season release of D'Angelo Hall, Lane Kiffin getting fired in the middle of the season, to all
Yeah,
the issues with Tom Cable or in the past month, to people
yeah,
putting up a billboard right now calling Al Davis out, telling him he can't cut it as a general manager and he needs to hire one. Like, how do
yeah.
y'all deal with all those distractions?
Well, yeah, and all those events you just named, I mean, were all just kind of like crazy moments for us. And it has been in these last 3 years I've been here kind of a circus at times.
Hmm.
As I was saying earlier, man, it's like you almost wonder why, the little Hard Knocks TV show hasn't come out to Oakland and watch what we do out here, because, they would get some ratings, man, because it's wild. But at the end of the day, you got a job to do. That's play football, man. So, no matter what's going on off the field, you can't let it distract you. And it can be in your face sometimes, and a lot of times the stuff that's going on does affect you as a player. But you just do what you can. You just go to work every day with the mindset that you can get better, and you're gonna find a way to make the team better and win more games. And you don't really focus on it because all the negative stuff can't help you. I mean, I quit watching so much of the news, and I don't read the newspapers anymore because there's always something negative these days.
Yeah. Tell me what it's like playing for Coach Cable.
Um, you know what? Playing for Tom Cable is cool, man. He's really an old school kind of coach. Yet he takes pretty good care of his players. But the thing I like most about him as a coach is just he's a real straightforward guy. Like
Hmm.
you're not gonna get any surprises. If something's going wrong or you're doing something that's not cutting it, so to speak, he'll let you know. Like he'll pull you aside or he'll call you out in front of the team if he feels it's necessary to make his point. But there's no mysteries with him. He tells you exactly what he wants, how he wants it done, and if you're not getting it done, he'll let you know you're not getting it done, and that's all you can ask for as a player.
All right, I'm gonna say this phrase to you. You tell me first thing that comes to mind. Raider Nation.
Raider Nation is everywhere, man. Like, that's the first thing I noticed when I got to the league, man, is how many Raiders fans there are, uh, not just in the nation but globally, man. Like it was crazy for me personally because it's the second I got drafted and came out here, I got phone calls from all these family members telling me how they have always been diehard Raiders fans. And, like I never knew any of this stuff. I
Yeah.
didn't know how many fans and how many people out there who really do love the Raiders, man. And it was crazy for me because it reminded me so much of Ohio State and how much support we get back home.
Speaking of that, how do the Raider fans with the crazy helmets and spikes on his shoulders in the end zone?
Yeah.
How do they compare to the Ohio State Buckeye fans?
Man, it's like I didn't even move anywhere. I mean, it's like the same thing. Like when I'm back home, like I was saying before, football is king back home, and Buckeye football in Ohio is like, it's like a religion. Like I
Hmm.
mean, it's like the single most important thing, after God. I mean, it's football. And I get out here, and it's like it's received the same way. And like no one shows out on game day like Raiders fans, man. Like
Hmm.
the costumes, it's like Halloween every Sunday, but they take it really seriously out here. But I like that, and I dig how much energy, the fans put out for us week in and week out, even considering, that we haven't had the best seasons recently, and yet they still show up for us like this. It's really amazing.
Man, we like good stories over here at Six Magazine. So tell us, man, about your best hit that you ever got on somebody, and then give me the flip side of the best hit somebody's ever got on you.
Well, I know the best hit I think I've had so far, especially as a pro. Um, the hit itself wasn't, an amazing, impact kind of hit physically initially, but what happened afterward was we was playing the Miami Dolphins down there in my order, and it was a third quarter game, I'm pretty sure, and the Dolphins offense was backed up, on the 1 yard line coming out, and they try to play action pass, and I was playing defense on the left side, beat my guy, came around the corner, and there
Mhm.
was Chad Pennington just sitting there in the back of the end zone looking for my throat. I was praying he held on to it, and I I hit him. It wasn't as hard as I could have hit him, but I kind of wrapped him up and slung him,
Uh-huh.
and he hit the goal post, like the little post
Uh-huh.
that holds the upright, that little padded thing. I threw him right into it. And he hit it head first and fell on the ground, and I got the sack and the safety, so it was cool. But that was probably the most fun I hit. Now on the flip side, I got popped pretty good by a DB no less on a special teams play my rookie year against San Francisco. I think the
Mhm.
guy was a safety, wasn't that big of a guy, but I was in the wedge. It gets crazy in the wedge. It's back
Mhm.
when they let the wedge be four guys, and it was a little bit brutal.
Mhm.
And he caught me slipping. I wasn't looking. I was looking at the guy I was supposed to block, and he came from the right side and hit me back right in the side of the head. And I mean, he knocked the meat out of my taco. It was serious. I had to kind of sit down for a second to get my head together. But my hat's off to him. It was a nice little hit. I was looking for him the whole rest of the game though, but I didn't get a chance to hit him like I wanted to.
Who's the toughest offensive tackle you faced in the NFL so far?
Oh man, some of the best offensive tackles I've been against. I think Jason Peters, the guy, he's the left tackle for Philly now, but he was with Buffalo last year. Pro Bowl left tackle, played against him last year, and I thought he was real good. Had real good feet, and real strong guy. And I would say uh, I would say Joe Thomas from Cleveland, a real
Mhm.
good tackle too. Young tackle came in the same year I came in. We played them, and I mean he was solid, man. Real good player, real physical player. So uh, those are probably two of the best guys I've gone against, I would say.
Cool, man. Tommy Harris, like, called me actually because I got to interview him a little bit. But he's a good friend of mine, and he always told me when he was younger, he always wanted to be like Warren Sapp. But the thing he wondered was what he had to do to become Warren Sapp. Like, how does Warren Sapp work out? What does Warren Sapp do? What did Warren Sapp do
Hmm.
to become Warren Sapp? Like, what advice can you give to the kids out there looking at this interview on how to get to a major college program and how to make it in the NFL and succeed?
Well, I would say first and foremost, I mean, obviously you got to be driven, man. This is something that you got to really want. Um, it's not a game. It is a game, but it's not a game. I mean, this is serious business. So if it's something that you really want to do, I think you got to take it seriously, and you really got to be driven because the higher up you go, I mean, the more talent you're competing against, and once you get to the point, where I am, where everybody's really good, now it just comes down to who's going to work the hardest. So
Mhm.
you got to be willing to work, those extra hours, and you got to be willing to watch extra film and do all the little stuff extra. That sounds cliche, but it really does make the difference when you're trying to get to where you want to be. And besides that, you also got to be kind of realistic with yourself as an athlete. If you're a young kid out there and you want to play a certain position, but you maybe you're better suited for a different position, uh, if you want to excel and you want to go to a major college, you better play what is going to get you there. So I mean,
Mhm.
if you're a tight end but you want to be a wide receiver, but you're 245 pounds, you might want to stay a tight end
Yeah.
and just learn how to block and do the best you can at it, and you'll have a much better chance of going to the next level instead of playing out of position. But at the end of the day, you got to be driven.
Yeah, man, we like people here to give back to the community. So tell me
Yeah.
what you do to kind of give back to your community and any personal foundations that you may have that people can learn about and possibly donate to.
Well, first, like these past 2 years since my rookie year, me and another teammate of mine named John Bowie plays cornerback for us. He he and I have a kind of like a joint kids football camp that we put on
Mhm.
in Columbus back home, and it's predominantly directed towards inner city youth, young kids ages from kindergarten all the way to high school, man. And we always pick a nice little site for them, somewhere. We get a couple football fields together and we do a nice kind of comprehensive camp on football and just something to kind of help their individual games, and if they never played before, something to teach them how to play, and if they have been playing for a while and they want to get better, help kind of sharpen their tools. And we usually get a lot of other guys from the team to fly out and come check it out. And we feed the kids and have a good time with them for the weekend and really hope they get something out of it. And then as another side project, I do I every year I donate. My mother's a minister, so every year she picks 3 churches that she
Okay.
feels are needy or that need a little extra help, maybe financially need some kind of donation, and then I donate to each one of those three churches individually. And I also have a foundation I'm setting up. Well, it's actually finished now, and it's geared towards getting basically football supplies and stuff like that for inner city kids who can't afford the nice cleats like the suburban kids can, or maybe can't afford the shoulder pads and stuff like that.
Cool, cool. What last question, man. What's something that
hmm
nobody knows about you, or just something that's interesting that your fans and people would like to know?
Something they wouldn't know about me. Well, like I said earlier, huge Call of Duty fan. That game is absolutely addictive, and it's slowly ruining my social life and maybe my professional life. But I can't put it down.
How nice are you? You
Another
ranked
thing, my fans. Yeah, man, I'm ranked 64 right now. I got retired. I'm serious. Seriously.
64 like the world?
No, no, no. Like that's my rank on the on the actual system.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my ranking on the game. I don't know about in the world,
You
but
don't play
I
people
can compete with
online?
anybody out there. Yeah, all the time. That's all I do. And like I said, I'm serious. And then another thing is I kind of got an obsession with vampires, but
Hmm.
like that's a whole nother story.
Okay, well, cool, man. Thanks for your time. I really, really appreciate it. Look out for the Oakland Raiders. Jay Richardson,
Yeah.
thanks for coming through, man. I really appreciate it. It's Richard Bodo 6 Magazine. Y'all have a
All
good
right,
one.
man.
Thanks.